Ali from Alys Stitchy Fingers here. Today I'm going to show you how to make up the clutch purse, and this one consists of a turn clasp for a closure. It's got a zipper pocket on the back, which is the letterbox opening. Now that can either go on the back or it can go on the inside if you prefer. It has got a handle on, a strap, but that is not included in the instructions, but I will talk you through it. Inside you've got 2 card slots, front and back, with room for 4 cards in each. You've got a pocket in the front there, pocket here, same at the other side, and then quite a large pocket in the centre, and 2 zipper pockets for notes and coins. The fabric is a beautiful dragonfly fabric, and it is limited, so I'm going to show you how to do the cutting out so that we don't have any problems with missed cuts. Right, basically your main fabric here, we've cut out the 2 zipper pockets, the flap, the front flap, and the main body of the bag, so you do get a little bit left over that you can use for your zip ends or for the strap if you prefer to do it that way. On the lining you've got your card slot pocket, you have your main body. Now this one's on the fold, as you can see. You might prefer to lay it out flat, which is fine. And you've got your back zipper pocket and your inside zipper pockets here, so you do have a bit of fabric left over because that's all double. Right, now I just need to mention the pattern. What you might like to do is cut out the pattern pieces, because it comes like this. Basically all you need to do is fold over some lining pattern paper, put that on the fold and cut around this edge, so that when you open it out you've got a full piece. You may find that easier to do and cut out all your pieces and keep them together. So that's the cutting out part done. Right, over to the construction. I've done a little bit of prep beforehand. Basically I've just done the zipper end pieces here. I do tell you in the instructions how big to cut your zips. So we've got 3 zippers, 2 for the zipper pockets and 1 for the back zip. What you do to make these ends basically is you've got a strip of fabric. It tells you in the instructions how big. Press it in half and then open it out and bring the 2 ends in to the press line and fold over again and press, so you've got no raw edges. And then basically you tuck your zips inside and stitch down them. It's been done in videos before, so you know how to do that. And then the only other thing I've done is put a D-ring on. This is for if you want to add a clasp to your purse. Right, so let's get going. I've actually cut out my interfacing and interfaced all these sections before, and just for speed obviously. I am using a patterned inner and a patterned outer. If you buy from our website, which we will link below, you choose a patterned outer and a plain inner, or you can use your own fabrics. Right, so what I've got here is my zip pieces all interfaced with it. It's a woven lining, so it's beautiful. And then the other 2. I've pressed my pieces for my card slots. Tells you in the instructions how to do that. And I've got interfacing on my main sections and my flaps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the card slot pieces, and if you can see, I've pressed them together. So basically what you're doing is you're taking, I think it starts at this end from the 2 1/4 inch, you're taking that one and the other one, sorry, there, and you bring it up to that one and press. So you've got the 1 line press there, 1 line there, and then up to the other one and press. Then you're going to separate them, put them right sides together. So just put them back into the press lines so you know where you are. They'll just fall back in. And you need to put the largest pieces to the centre. Fold those over. Actually, it's that way. I've pressed that one wrong, haven't I? I'll have to do it this way now, but I can sort it out after. So I'm going to put those two together and stitch down the length there. Basically what I've done is I've pressed them both the same way. Stitching with a centimetre seam. Take that out, open that out, and there you've got your card slots. Now what we need to do is take the edge of this and stitch, top stitch just on that very edge. So keep it as neat as you can. So you see you've got a very narrow hem on there. Bring the other one up and do the same with that one. Make sure you're not catching any fabric underneath. It's something that just comes with time, having the confidence to do that. If you've got an edge guide on your machine, you can use that. That might make it a little easier for you. But you can see then they actually stay in place. Got another one here. You're just doing it on the mountain folds, not on the valleys. They're in place there, you can see, and then this one and the last one is going on this side here. There we go. Take that out. Oops. It's very warm today, so excuse me if I need to stop to wipe my face. Right, so now you can see we've got our card slots there. Now what you need to do is turn it over and press this seam open. And then I cut out some interfacing to fit. And that's going to go over the top there. So I'll just get my iron. And this will hold it all in place. Excuse me while I just give this a quick iron. I'm just going to press this open. Flat. A pressing cloth helps with the interfacing. I'm using a dry iron, which is always better for interfacing. There we go. Let's turn it over and give a quick press from the top. And there is my card slot piece done. So that's the only one you need to now make another backing for, and you'll just cut it to the same side as your card slot. You need to mark halfway and stitch down there as well, which I'm just going to guess it. Oops, wasn't very good, was it? Make sure that doesn't happen. There we go. And basically just hold it down, or you could pin it. Keep it as flat as you can. That's just my spool finish, it's full. There we go. So that is the card slot section done. I will cut out a piece and put that to the back, but until then we'll get everything else ready. Right, so now is the time to decide if you want your zipper on the front or the back. I'm going to have it on the back, and you can see on here I've drawn 1/2 inch box with a line down the middle and what looks like a little Y on the end. I will tell you in the instructions exactly what you're doing for that. And I'm going to take the corresponding bag flap piece. I'm going to stitch that on first, and then I'm going to sew my zipper pocket on the back. So basically I'm going to line that up on the piece there and stitch across the top. Now this is the time where if you're having a strap on here, you need to put it in. So I'm just going to put my, actually no, it goes on the lining, nearly. So all the way across. Open out the seam. At home you would press it now, but I'm just going to finger press it just for speed. So now I need to place my zipper section on. So what I'm going to do is just place it just below the top there. Just put a pin in there to hold it. And I'm going to stitch all the way around. So we've got right sides together and stitch around that box. Exactly on the outside line. Back round to where you started and just back tack to finish off. Take that out. Take the pin out now and snip off the threads. Now what you need to do is you need to cut along the inner line and those little end pieces there. So the easiest way to do it is to fold it in half and just make a little cut there. Cut exactly on the line again, and then into that corner, but make sure you don't cut any of the stitches. So right up to the stitches, but don't cut through. So you end up with that little piece there, like that. Do the same on the other end. Again, up to the stitches, but not through it. Right into the corner there. And now what you need to do is push all this fabric here to the back, to the inside, and you need to press it. To make that a little bit easier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it all in place with a pin. So you make sure that you've got the edge there, pull it all flat, and then just pop a pin in, because it will want to spring back. In there, poke the other end through, pull it to the back, just roll it between your thumb and finger till you get that nice edge, and then pop a pin in on here again, push it down, roll it between your thumb and finger till you get the nice edge, and we'll pop a pin in there as well. And then I'm going to get the iron and give it a good press. So you can see the start of your letterbox opening there. I'm sure you've got a bit more space than me in your home. But basically I'm just going to give it a nice press. You could also starch it as well, which would help, but make sure that your pins that you use are glass headed pins so that they're not going to melt under the heat of the iron. Once you've got it pressed nice and flat, you can take the pins out and give it another press, but be careful because they might be a bit warm. So turn that over. See, now you've got that lovely neat edge there, and it all lays nice and flat. So this is a really good method to get into your techniques, because you'll use that for jackets and tailoring. Press the seam open while you're here, and then we're going to put the zip in and put the back of the pocket on. There we go. Right, so I'm going to get the back of my pocket, which is exactly the same size as this one, and I'm going to just stitch the top line so I'm not getting it in the way when I do my zip part. So I'm just going to lay that directly on top and stitch across the top seam there, making sure I don't catch anything else in while I'm doing it. Remember to back tack at the beginning and end so that it doesn't come undone. And stitch all the way across. There we go. Now we're going to put the zip in, and it's the biggest of the zips, so that's this one. So you can see that nice little peep off green there. So you make the zip bigger than your opening, get the lining part out of the way, lay the zip flat so that you can't see the zipper ends. Make sure that your zip pulls somewhere to be seen. And I'm just going to pop a couple of pins in to hold it. So make sure the zipper teeth are in the middle. And it's all nice and flat. And then we're going to top stitch all the way around the box. You'll probably be better off with your zipper foot on, but on this industrial machine I've got a nice thin foot on there. Make sure it's all nice and neat as you go in, because this is what's going to be seen. Take the pin out as you get to it. Just be careful as you're going over the nylon teeth. It's not a problem, but you just want to make sure that you just take your time going over them. Go, and then back down the other side. It's absolutely beautiful fabric, this bag isn't available in this unless you buy it off the pick and mix off our website. Back to finish off, take it out. So it's not that difficult, is it? Now you just make sure that your zip works, and then we're going to turn it over and stitch the rest of the pocket all the way around there to finish that off. Just move the main body of the bag out of the way. Back tack at the beginning, so down to one end, pivot at the corner, stitch all the way across. You can pin if you like. I used to work in a factory, so I'm not really a pinner. And then back up to the top. Move the main fabric out of the way because you don't want to get that caught. And then this will end up between the main fabric and the lining, so there's nothing shown, no harsh edges, and you can see now you've got that lovely flash of the other colour. I'm going to just do the back with the clasp, and then I'm going to finish for now on this one, and I will show you where's the other body piece as it fell off the table. Oh no, it's in my hand. So this is basically just a case of sewing this on. Actually, I don't need to do it, I can just talk you through it because I've shown you on the other one. You're stitching across there, pressing that open, and then we're going to put those two right sides together, and you're going to stitch all the way around from here, back tacking as you go, all the way around there, all the way around the flap, round this side and back to about here, leaving a good 4-inch opening gap, sorry, for you to turn through. Clip the seams and then turn it to the right side, and I will finish off when I get to the next section.